Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Dr. Ahmad Zamiri Khairani and fellow friends. Today, my friend and I will present on topic 4 for subject Pgt 202E, Basic Educational Measurement and Evaluation. My name is Nur Azlim binti Ibrahim, 143577. My other two friend is Nurul Syamini binti Muhammad Ismail, 142397, and Nurul Fatin Najihah binti Muhammad Suhairi, 143743. Our question for topic 4 is A. Compare and contrast, construct response and select response test. Give example to support your comparison. B. Discuss 3 fundamental principles from crafting assessment tests. So, construct response test is a type of open-ended essay questions that demonstrate cognitive knowledge and reasoning. The answer must be provided using information that can be found in a particular text or other prompt, such as map, picture, graphic, organizer, and other. And it is not meant to demonstrate opinion, but to show how you are able to extract information and use this as the basic for forming a complete answer. Construct response are assessment items that ask students to apply knowledge, skill, and critical thinking abilities to real work, sometimes called open response. Construct response questions are so named because there is often more than one way to correctly answer the question, and they require students to construct or develop their own answer without the benefit of any suggestion or choice. So, construct response item can be very simple, requiring students to answer with only a sentence or two, or quite complex, requiring students to read a specific text article, reflect on the key point, and then develop a meaningful essay or analysis of the information. Whatever simple or complex, all construct response question measure students' ability to apply, analysis, evaluate, and synthesize the knowledge that they have acquired in a more abstract way. Two kinds of construct response item. First one is short answer. Second is essay item. For the first one is short answer. Respond to either a direct question or an incomplete statement. Students need to supply a word, a phrase, or a sentence in response, suitable for assessing simple kind of learning outcomes such as student execution of knowledge. Example for compilation: the name of the first prime minister in Malaysia is ... For the direct question, who was the first prime minister in Malaysia? And for number 2, which is essay item, they have two types, which is A, extended response essay, and B, restricted response essay. For A, extended response essay, it allows the student to determine the range and complexity of response. Student must be able to assemble relevant information, critical analysis the information. So they have more time consuming to score and score objectively. For example for extended response essay is how are the process of increasing production and improving quality in a manufacturing plant similar or different based on cost. And for type 2, which is restricted response essay, pose a specific problem and then the student will express it within the page and the time limits. For example, in no more than 2 pages. And for the example of the question for restricted response essay is describe in a paragraph of no more than 50 words the 3 most common causes of HIV infection among teenagers. Guideline for short answer question and for criteria of essay question. Guideline for short answer question is the teacher must using direct question rather than incomplete statement, so the student will less confused. Second, structure the item so that a response should be short. The response should be short and clearly solved. Third, for incomplete statement, use only one or at most 2 blank. Fourth, place blank in the margin for direct question or near the end of incomplete statement. For direct question, place the student response area for all items near the right-hand margin of the page immediately after the question. And for incomplete statement, the teacher must place the blank near the end of the statement, not near in the beginning, because it will confusing the student. Fifth, make sure blank all the question are equal in length. The length of the answers page is sufficient for students' response. Sixth, can this item be answered using one short sentence or less? If more than one sentence are required to answer the question, the item is probably a brief response essay question. So we move on criteria of the essay question. The criteria of essay question is 1. Required examiner to compose rather than select their response. 2. Allocate student response that must consist of more than one sentence. Next, low difference or original response or pattern of response required requires subjective judgment by a competent specialist to judge the accuracy and quality of response. Last, provide student with an indication of the type of thinking and content to use. The next slide will be continue. We will continue by my friend, which is Nurul Shamimi.
I will continue my presentation with select response test. Select response test is a test that requires examiners to choose a correct or best answer from a specific listing of possible answers to a question or other stimuli. Examiner answer to select response item may be computer scored using answer keys or listing of correct or best correct developed by content experts. Select response test item or objective test item. Students select their response from alternative from examiner present to students. For example, first binary choice item, second multiple binary choice item, multiple choice item or MCQ, matching items. Next, binary choice item. Binary choice items which are presented in declarative form require the student to decide on the truthfulness of a given statement. This gives students only 2 options from which to select. The student mark true if the statement is essentially true and false if, if and false if the statement is essentially false. Writing guideline for binary choice item. First, phrase items so superficial analysis by the students suggests a wrong answer. Um, this is elicit through truthfulness. This is also try to get students to think about the item. Second, rarely use negative statement and never use double negative. The word not in the item will confuse some students. Third, binary choice item also include only one concept in each statement. And this question can confuse the student. Um, Binary choice item balancing response categories. It try to keep an approximately equal number of items representing the two response categories. Not necessary to have exactly the same number, but have somewhat similar proportion of true and false statements. Binary choice item also maintaining item length similarity for both category being tested. It is no giveaway clues associated with item length. Uh, Example question for binary choice item. Uh, the best way to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is to apply peanut butter and jelly to 2 slices of bread. A, true. B, false. Next, uh, multiple binary choice item. Multiple binary choice item, a cluster of item is presented to student, requiring a binary response to each of the items in the cluster. Usually, the items are related to an initial statement or set of statements. The guideline for multiple binary choice item, first is separate item cluster with obvious formatting. Uh, each item is numbered. Be sure to use some kind and formatting system to make it clear that a new cluster is commencing. For example, 3 dots to signify the beginning of a new cluster or item. Second, the guideline is coordinating item with just them. The part preceding the response option is called stem. The item also link meaningful way to the cluster stem. For example, for multiple binary choice item, suppose that a dozen of your students complete a 10 item multiple choice test and obtain the following score. For example, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 10. Is 9, the median is 7.5, it is true. 10, the mode is 8.0, it is false. The 11, the range is 5.0, it is true. 12, the median is different than the mean. Then the mean, it is false. Next slide is about multiple choice item or MCQ. Um, this is about a test question that is accompanied with several answer choices of which the student choose the correct answer. Have a stem in the form of a question or incomplete statement and 3 or more alternatives. The alternative contain one correct or best correct. The alternative contain one correct or best answer and 2 or more distractors. Multiple choice item have 4 types. First, direct question form or best answer version. Second, incomplete statement form or correct answer version. Third, um, rearrangement form. And last, substitution form. The first part of multiple choice item is referred to as the stem. The potential answer option is alternative. Then multiple choice item also there is incorrect alternative are referred to as distractor. Um, Next, guideline for multiple choice item or MCQ item. First is define the task in the STEM. The STEM will present a clearly described task so that the student can then get to work on figuring out which of the items option is best. Second is avoid specific determiner. Um, should not contain close to the correct answer, especially the option length. The longest option is frequently the right one. Uh, Third, multiple choice item also use vocabulary suit to maturity. This constructs them an option that are stated positively. If the word not is used in the stem, it should be underlined to make sure it is not overlooked. And multiple choice item also assigning correct answer option. And it can avoid the correct answer in extreme or particular position, perhaps D or C. Try to assign 25% of the correct answer to the available position. This is avoid overlapping alternative. This is often used to increase the number of alternative. And last, multiple choice item also unless important, avoid alternatives such as none of the above or all of the above. Usually run out of the ideas for plausible distractors and want to create a final option. All of the above is weak alternative. The student supplies has to find two defensible option is without knowing the others to realize that all of the above must be the kid response. Student also merit alternative A, recognize that is correct, mark the answer, and never consider other choices. For example, for multiple choices item or MCQ item, which city is the capital of England? A. Sheffield, B. London, C. Manchester, D. Edinburgh. The answer is B. London. Next slide, I will present about matching item. A matching item consists of two parallel lists of words or phrases that require the student to match entries on one list with appropriate entries on the second list. Entries in the list for which a match is sold are referred to as premises. A matching item also entry in the list from which selection are met referred to as responses. This also contains a set of question pairs with an equal number of possible answer choices. In this in this type of testing, the questions are referred to as premises, which can be recognized by being numbered. The response is in a matching test item can be identified usually by being represented by letters. Guideline for matching item. First is matching item can employing homogeneous entry. Um, the entry in sorry. First, employing homogeneous entry. This avoid putting information from different lessons in the same matching item. Second is placing the shorter words or phrase at the right. A longer list. Students spend so much time trying to iterate the appropriate response for a given premise that they may forget what they are attempting to it would be far better to take a single matching item with 24 premises and split it into three 8 premise matching items. Be sure to place the list word of shorter words or phrase at the right. Third, matching items also employ more response than premises. It makes sure that there are at least a few extra response. Uh, if the number of premise and response are equal, the student who knows, say, 80% of the matches to the premise may be able to figure out the remaining match by a process of elimination. Matching item also formatting items to avoid page flipping. Um, sorry. Matching item also ordering respond logically that not provide unintended clues to student and order the response in some sort of logical fashion, for example, chronological sequence. Refer to example. Uh, Last, matching item can formatting items to avoid page flipping. Make sure all premises and responses for a matching item are on a single page, and it is potentially troublesome page turning by student. It will also decrease the likelihood that student will overlook correct answers just because they were on the other page. For example for matching items, the following is an example of a good matching set. Notice the complete direction. Responses on the right is logical order and homogeneous content or achievement or yearly president direction. Match the achievement in column A with the name of president in column B. Write the letter of the president who had the achievement achievement on the line next to each number. Each name in column B may be used one, more than one, or not at all. Example for matching item in the slide.
Construct response and select response item format, strengths and limitation. For construct response, the strength is first, non-code writing. Second, easy to create. Third, logic reasoning step in problem solving. Next is ease of partial credit scoring. Last, in-depth assessment. For select response, strength. The strength of select response is first, broad representative content, accurate, objective, and reproducible scores. Defensibility. Fourth is accurate, timely feedback, secure use of banked item, efficient in time, cost, and information. Limitation for construct response is subjective human scoring, limited breadth of content, reproducibility issue, inefficient in scoring time, testing time, and information. Lastly, limited psychometric and quality control. Uh, Meanwhile, the limitation for select response is difficult to write well, bad public relation, at gazing and memorable. The next one is construct response versus select response assessment method. We can see that construct response and selected response has advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages of construct response is construct response allows students to demonstrate complex, in-deep understand, less likelihood of guessing correct answer, and lastly motivate students to learn in a way that stress the organization of information, principle, and application. The advantages of select response is easier to score, can be answered quickly, and cover a broad range of curriculum in a shorter time. Meanwhile, the disadvantages of construct response is construct response need more time to consuming to score and need more time to consuming to answer, because we know that construct response make student to make an essay and short answer. So the student need more time to consuming the answer and to score the question that teacher gave them. And the disadvantages of select response is constrain student to single appropriate answer, encourage student to learn by recognition, and lastly subject to guessing correct answer. This is because selected response, uh, for example, the student given multiple choice answers such as true, false, and maybe the teacher give the student the matching item. So the student can guess it well, can guess the answer correctly.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I want to present about subtopic 3 fundamental principle of crafting assessment task. First, focus on the important learning outcome. It is a waste of time to assess minor point of content. Example, the item of task essay item must be based on learning outcome that we want to achieve. Second, the task should craft so they elicit from students only the knowledge and performance relevant to the learning outcome to be assessed. The teacher needs very clear idea of the learning outcome that they want to assess. The item must be built to test the knowledge, skills, and abilities based the learning outcome. Prevent from unwanted behaviors from students. Example, the item must not make the student do bluffing, fear, cursing, or test for skill while. Next, the task neither prevent nor inhibit students' ability to demonstrate that they have achieved their learning outcome. In process wording in a question, for instance, it may make an item so ambiguous that a student that has knowledge answers it incorrectly. Inappropriate vocabulary, poorly worded directions, or poorly drawn diagrams may lead knowledgeable students answer incorrectly. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.